One of the things that I enjoyed the most about watching, this NBA season so far this year, just been, the unpredictability about everything, every playoff position, all the spots, every single seeding in both sides of the conference seem like they're up for grabs, except for that first seed in the West. Nobody's catching Phoenix. But it just seems like it's been really exciting, You got a lot of contenders, and, the thing that's always been kind of really important to me when it comes to that playoff matchup has always been that 4-5 matchup. Because something about that 4-5 matchup is always, some kind of magic. Usually around that time, you're getting two teams that are somewhat evenly matched. They're going to have similar records. They're usually going to be within a couple games of each other due to seeding or whatever. And, it just really goes to show you, which team, it really goes to show you just how important that playoff seeding is and how important that home court advantage is, because getting that 4 seed, getting that 5 seed, difference between could be the difference between going home in the first round or having a deep playoff run. This year is no different. That 4 seed out west is going to be a bloodbath for whoever gets. We've got 3 teams that could potentially take that spot, and that could do wonders for their playoff seeding and for their playoff positioning, and could really help them make a deep playoff run. Those 3 teams are the Utah Jazz, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Denver Nuggets. The Utah Jazz are the least exciting and really good team in NBA history. A team that has the potential to win 50-plus games, to be a top 10 offensive and defensive team in the league, is casually regarded as a pretending team that has to get it done in the playoffs. The Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert duo clearly has a ceiling, and they just about hit it, saying that they are still an incredibly talented team and going to be a tough team to beat in the first round of the playoffs. At the time that I'm recording this, they are currently the 3rd in the standings at 40-24 with 18 games to go. First in 3-pointers made, 16 points per game, first in the offensive rating. This team has been one of the best offenses in the entire NBA, even with their big players missing big time and Joe Ingles being lost for the season due to an ACL tear. I'm of the camp that the Jazz aren't real contenders to win a championship this year and won't be any year as long as Rudy and Donovan are their best players. Rudy Gobert is not the defensive player that you want to be game planned against over the course of 7 games. He becomes a giant hole. He becomes a giant hole in the paint that doesn't stop defenders at nearly the same clip in the postseason as he does in the regular season. It's not entirely on Rudy though. The perimeter defenders for the Jazz are suspect at best. Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, and Bojan Bogdanovic aren't by any means defensive stalwarts, so the game plan becomes to funnel everything into Rudy, and I honestly say that's not fair. Outside of Royce O'Neal's maximum effort for minimum results, there's no real strategy or even effort to keep guys in front of them. The funnel into Rudy approach doesn't work, and going into the postseason, I feel is going to be their downfall once again. Like I said earlier, they have 18 games remaining and currently only hold that 4 spot by a half game over the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks have gotten really interesting since the trade deadline. The addition of Spencer Dinwiddie has done wonders for this team, and especially for Spencer himself. It's no surprise that he severely struggled with returning from his ACL surgery in Washington. He struggled so much that he was seen as an expendable piece less than 60 games into his Wizards career. Since he's arrived in Dallas, we've seen shades of the Spencer Dinwiddie that was seen as a valuable trade piece while he was a member of the Brooklyn Nets. He had a 36-point game against Sacramento last week, and that really reminded me of the exhilarating and crafty big guard that he is. Glad to have you back, Spencer. Somebody who never left, however, is Luka Doncic, and he's low-key becoming a legit MVP candidate. In my eyes, it's hard to put him ahead of Jokic and Joel, and to be honest, they may be in a class of their own. But with the guy averaging 28.9 and 8 and his co-star being shipped away, he's definitely deserving of some consideration. With Dallas only being a half game out of the 4th spot and plenty of momentum trending towards passing the Jazz, it may only be a matter of time before they surpass Utah. However, with the team only boosting a middle-of-the-pack offensive rating and no real reliable second scorer outside of Jalen Brunson, will they have enough help outside of Luka Doncic to win playoff series against the best teams in the league? Denver has the most potential to improve out of these 3 teams. They already have the reigning MVP dominating the league even more than he did last year, and they're supposed to be adding their second and third players back from injury before the end of the season. Porter Jr. coming back from his back injury will add an important scoring touch that this team desperately needs, especially when Jokic is on the bench. But most importantly, getting their best playoff player in Jamal Murray is a huge boost that this team could use both emotionally in the locker room and on the court. It's not every day that a team has to play the majority of their season without their second and third best players. While MPJ wasn't making waves when he was playing this season, scoring only 9.9 on 36% from the field and an atrocious 20% from 3, I still think his arrival back into the lineup was something that could shake up the Western Conference playoffs. I anticipate that 3-ball only getting better when Jamal gets back on the floor and can start garnering some attention again. Speaking of Jamal, he seems poised to be coming back with a vengeance after tearing his ACL around this time last season. Listening to his All the Smoke interview in January, he's been ahead of schedule in rehabbing that torn ligament for a while now, and his return this year is not a matter of if, but when. There have been reports coming out the last few weeks about both players actively being ramped up in the coming weeks, and will be assigned to the Nuggets G League affiliate team to continue getting ready for a return. With all these wild cards, Nuggets could potentially become a seed contender at the right time with the back-to-back MVP on the horizon. Now, when it comes to who's going to end up getting that 4th spot, it really is anybody's guess. But I personally feel like it will be the Dallas Mavericks who are able to snag that spot over everybody else. I feel like Utah doesn't really have enough to hold on to this spot. And the way that Dallas has been trending both defensively and offensively with Luka and Spencer, it's only a matter of time before they pass them. And I feel like the Nuggets are just a little undermanned right now, and they won't have enough to catch up to that 4th spot. They could potentially pass the Jazz though and get into that 5 spot, and that could set up a matchup where we have Dallas and Denver in the first round. I would personally love to see that, because that's a battle between the 2 foreign superstars in the league, and who wouldn't want to see that. But listen, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who you guys think catches that 4 seed? Who you guys think is a sneaky contender out west? And I will see y'all boys in the next video. Peace.